guys? Welcome to Vintage Genetics, where it is all about classic bodybuilding, of course. And it's the start of Monday, and I will take you into the journey of my prep for the next contest in March, America, Ohio, the Arnold Classic, which, well, you will just have to see, will be the best Wesley there ever was. So, let me show you the breakfast that I'm making on a high day, because I'm carb cycling right now, as I've been doing the past couple of times, but the starting point is a lot better. So let me show you what I'm making in the morning. So right here, actually from America, I got some grits. I gotta put them in the microwave for 30 more seconds. Actually, I really love this. Normally I take some oatmeal, so I had some grits left over. Pretty much the same macros, except a little less fat. Kaboom. We will add some raisins. We will add some, as you can see, almonds, 20 grams. This actually is, well, actually these were the blueberries. Blueberries, well, you will see that in the meal itself. These are the raisins. And then we will add some cinnamon. And this, a kiwi, which we'll eat with the skin for the digestive enzymes in there. So right now it's done, and let me show you the end result. And of course I cannot forget about adding the protein. Super protein complex, 6 different premium sources, vanilla with aminogen, which is also a digestive system that enhances the digestive properties of your body to be able to absorb this protein to the max. So we're going to add some 60 grams to this and then all the other ingredients. Look at this beautiful meal. It's all mixed up right now. You can see the raisins, the blueberries, the almonds, the SPC protein and the grits itself. We're going to eat this as the first meal of the day. Here, right here, are the carbs and all the rest of the ingredients. But the carbs are the main difference between a high day and a low day on a carb cycle. So let's enjoy this meal, and I'll show you the next meal as well. So for the second meal, we are going to cook some rice in the rice cooker right there. I'm not gonna eat it right now, but I'm just already going to cook it, so it's done for a couple of meals, because I can put around half a kilogram of rice in there, and this is just, regular long grain or basmati rice from Uncle Ben's, and I love this brand because it doesn't stick. You have a lot of basmati rice from other brands, and if you put it in a rice cooker, it's just going to stick terribly, and this does not. So let's see how I'm going to do this and add the special color to it that you are all familiar with. Alright, so now we put 500 grams of rice in here, and now you need to add some water. And how much water is that? 1.5 times the amount of water, the amount of grams you put in. So that will be 750 milliliters of water that will be added. But now the secret ingredient will be added, and I have it in my hand right here. It's called turmeric, and that is the yellow spice that you always see in the rice. It is very good, first of all, to make your meal look very tasty. It just looks golden. But secondly, it has very good antioxidant properties, and it needs to be heated up for it to actually work. And you also have to add some black pepper. So for example, you can put this in the rice and then just add black pepper once you scoop out the rice and mix it with the rest of your vegetables. Add some black pepper, and the absorption of this will be enhanced. So that's what you should do. So let's add this powder to the rice right now. I'm going to show you exactly how I do that. So here you get the powder, just put it in just like that. Yep, it's going to sharpen. We're just not going to do that. Alright, adds a little bit. It's probably around 4 to 5 grams, but it will give it an incredible color. And now we will add the water right here in the shaker cup. Go to about 750 milliliters. Just like that. And now we're going to put it in the rice cooker itself. Right, look at this golden water already. It's almost turned on. Just going to close it up. Then kaboom, turn it on, and once this light turns to that light, you know it's done, and then we can see the end result. And because I want this diet to be absolutely perfect, We of course eat a lot of basmati rice, which is good for digestion, digest really quickly, especially on a high day. But we also need the vegetables. So I'm going to cut up these vegetables right here. Might not look very tasty right now, but they will be once I mix it up with the special herbs, mix it up with the rice, with the salt, with the pepper. It's going to be amazing. So I'm going to cut these up. They are low FODMAP vegetables, which means they digest really quickly, really easily in your gut. So let's do this. Alright, so I cut up quite a lot of these vegetables. And the nice thing about this is you can actually see I also did some carrots, zucchini, and a cucumber. You can look them up in the FODMAP list of low FODMAP foods. I actually made a video about it, talking about it a little bit in my rice recipe video that I did a week ago or so. But you can see that this is quite a lot of vegetables, and every time that I make a meal with rice, I just scoop out 200 grams of this, mix it up with the rice, and it's going to be gorgeous. And I will show you exactly how that will look like. As you can see, it is all done. And let me just show you. Ooh, it's loose. Ooh, that's loose. Ooh, that's loose. That is the kind of rice that you want. Loose rice and not sticky one. So let's put it in a container and let's make the second meal of the day. Alright, it is time to create the second meal. As you can see, I put it in containers, the beautiful rice, and now we have the pans on. This is for the fish, this is for the veggies and the rice, and here's the fish itself. There's actually a lot of discount on these fish. It's 260 grams, and let's see the macros right here. If they are, they're right here. Per half of this package, it's 17 grams of protein, so it's 34 protein in here. So I'm just gonna get all 4 of these in the pan for this one meal, because my protein has increased quite a lot for this prep to enhance the thermogenic effect of the protein and to build some more muscle in the process. Anyway, let's put this in the pan. It is nicely marinated with thyme and oregano, so that's gonna be delicious. Alright, so I added 10 grams of coconut oil right in there. And then I put 200 grams of this vegetables in there, and I'm going to fry it up, add some spices like salt and like some beautiful pepper to make it taste even more amazing. And of course, I'm also going to add some ginger. But guys, it's mostly the salt that will make this meal taste amazing. Right here is the fish. It always helps to marinate the fish as well. This fish specifically, come on, sharpen for me, is marinated with thyme and oregano automatically by the store, but you can also add it yourself by adding some soy sauce or stuff like that to make it taste even better. I'm going to show you the end result of this meal right now. Just look at this beautiful meal right here, guys. You've got the fish right here. You know, this meal is about 65 grams of protein, close to 95 grams of carbs, and the vegetables and the fats are amazing as well. Right here are all the macronutrients of this meal, and by the way, you can watch the description of this video to watch all the macronutrients of all the meals and the daily total as well for my high carb days in the start of this prep. So I'm going to enjoy this meal, and you will probably see the workout right after this.
What's up, guys? Welcome to Vintage Genetics, where it is all about classic bodybuilding. And today we are doing the chest on a high day. And who doesn't love to do chest on a high carb day? Because the pump will be incredible. The carbohydrates, you know, if you don't know how the pump actually exists because of the carbs, the carbohydrates need water to actually swell up the muscles inside the muscle cell. So for every gram of carbohydrate, 3 grams of water will be taken. So that's pretty much 4 grams of swelling action inside the muscle that occurs. Anyway, so that's the reasoning why carbs, you know, partly increase the pump in the gym. But anyway, we are starting out with the incline bench press today. And the reasoning for that is that I have a great, a pretty good chest. It's one of my strong points, but I want it to be even better. And by the way, right now I'm stretching out the front delts, as you can see, stretching it out quite a lot before doing this exercise, as it's the first exercise that I do, and I do notice from time to time some sensitivity in the front delts, and if you feel that, you should do that stretch. And the video is on my YouTube channel, Vintage Genetics, that you're watching right now. It's the shoulder fix video. If you search shoulder fix Vintage Genetics or shoulder fix Wesley Vissers on YouTube, you will find that video. But anyway, as I mentioned, the strong point of my body is my chest. But if I want to mimic an old school side chest, like an Arnold side chest for example, which is very difficult to do, I need more mass in the upper chest so I can properly execute that pose even when I'm not pumped up. Because I do notice, because my biceps are pretty big as well, that when I do a side chest, the chest isn't actually the most dominant thing in the pose, but it's also the arms. So I need the chest to improve even more. So first I did the incline bench press. I did 2 more sets after what you just witnessed. I went up to 130 kilograms and I did about 8 reps with that. Don't want to go too much heavier on that exercise because it's, you know, risky for the shoulders, but you want a controlled motion downwards and a full stretch on the upper chest to do it right. And then we do the regular bench press. If you're still a beginner, this might feel weird after doing the incline bench press because you're used to a motion going, you know, upwards, not only straight upwards, but also a little bit backwards for your feeling. It feels like that on the incline. But on the regular bench press, it just feels like you're going straight upwards, you know, like go to the ceiling instead of going backwards and upwards. And that is a strange feeling when you're performing this exercise, and it becomes a heck of a lot more difficult to do the same weight on this as you're used to when it's your first exercise of the day. But that's why I always tell people, if they don't feel the chest when doing a bench press, always start out with an exercise beforehand to activate and pump up the chest muscles so you can more easily feel them doing an exercise like the bench press. And now we're doing a regular chest press. It kind of goes incline, but it feels like a regular one, and it's a hammer grip. I always like doing different grips in a workout. Both of those bench presses I did before are neutral grips, and this is a hammer grip. Or this is called a neutral grip, but what I'm talking about is that the grip right now is pretty much 90 degrees different from the grip that I had before. And that changes the recruitment of muscle fibers, and you can also squeeze the chest a lot better with this grip. Just imagine when you're doing chest flies with dumbbells or cables, you're always having this hammer grip. So the squeeze in your chest, when you're doing an isolation movement, you always have this grip. So doing a regular chest press with this grip also increases the squeeze ability of the chest. So that's what you want to do, because during the bench press you can't really squeeze your chest as much. You just, you know, contract it as, you know, you move the weight. But with a chest press like that, you can actually, you know, consciously squeeze the chest, which is what you want. And then we're going to do some cable flies. This is a true isolation movement, and if you look at my hands, you can see that they are in a hammer grip, which enhances the squeeze that you're able to get in the chest. So what you're seeing right now is when I'm going backwards, it's not slow and controlled, but you have to be a little bit experienced for this to know exactly what I'm doing. The same thing you can do with calves, for example. A research has been done that when you're actually letting the weight kind of drop during calves, you can actually get more range of motion and more damage to the muscle fibers than if you control it all the way down. And you can sometimes apply that method, for example, here during the flies. When it goes heavy, I will go slow down because it's more risky if you go real fast. But if you go, you know, pretty light still, you can pretty much let the weight go backwards and force that stretch on the chest, which will be greater than if you would control it on the way down. That is one technique to exaggerate the stretch, which makes it a more difficult exercise, a more damaging exercise than before, because the more you can damage the muscle, the more you will actually make it grow, because the response will be hypertrophy, if you have the correct diet, of course. Now this is an interesting tricep exercise. It's with a straight bar, but I increase the range of motion, because the triceps, what they do is not only go up and down with your forearm, which most people do, but also go up and down with the upper arm, Basically, the motion that I'm making when I'm going upwards, that very motion, you need the long head of the triceps to be there to even make that motion. And you can do the same thing with the tricep French press when you're laying down on a bench. Instead of stopping the bar at your forehead, you let it go all the way to the back of your head, all the way down, stretching that long head more. And if you do it this way, you will feel a very different sensation in the tricep for sure. You will feel the stretch at the top, you will feel the long head of the tricep filling up, and you will simply make it a more difficult exercise because the bigger the range of motion, the longer the time and attention, and the more responsive the muscle will be to growth, which is what we want. And then we end this workout with an underhand tricep pushdown unilaterally. And if you look at the weight, I'm pretty much not even plugging that thing in. Kind of annoying to hear, but anyway, you cannot do this exercise very heavily if you control the movement. And you have to control the movement if you want to do this exercise right. So what I'm doing is I'm going upwards a little bit more than 90 degrees to again emphasize the stretch. But then when I'm going down, the contraction and the squeeze that you see right there feels very intense. If you go too heavy, you cannot get there. And you need a full contraction and a full stretch in a muscle for it to develop fully. And a lot of people say that the shape of your muscles is genetically determined. Of course, the attachments of your tendons, they are genetically determined. But what is not genetic is the way that you perform the exercise. And the way you perform the exercise most definitely determines partly the shape of the muscle. If you always do a half range of motion, you will not get a complete development of the muscle because you simply do not recruit all the muscle fibers. And if some muscle fibers are never recruited, they will never grow and others will. But in this motion, all of the muscle fibers in the triceps are recruited to the max by pushing the squeeze and the stretch to the very limit, which is what you should always do combined with a mind-muscle connection. Alright guys, Black Friday is coming up. We are releasing some new clothing items and there will be a lot of quality discounts on a lot of clothing items and other products on vintagegenetics.com. Last year Black Friday was amazing, but this year we have a lot more items to be able to give you a discount for, and I thought it was very nice to get some more golden era ringer items, so that will be an entire line will be released on Black Friday. So check out the website on this November 23rd on a Friday. And your support has enabled me to make this possible, so I just want to thank you a lot for it. Thank you for watching this video. A lot more is coming. This was video number 1 for the prep to the Arnold Classic. Again, thank you for watching, and don't forget to stay golden.